I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Jan Ross.
Here.
Eric Miller.
Here.
Chrissy Kaminsky.
Here.
Harvey McCluskey.
Here.
Kevin McGinn.
Here.
Donna Simmons.
Here. Approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at them?
Motion to
approve the minutes.
second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jan Ross.
Yes.
Eric Miller.
Yes.
Chrissy Kaminsky.
Yes.
Harvey McCluskey.
Yes.
Kevin McGinn.
Yes.
Donna Simmons.
Yes.
Do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda? Nope. Hearing of visitors? All right. Any correspondence and actions?
Nope.
Well, nothing came in? Okay. All right, so we're to unfinished business. Do you have anything to report on, Stephanie? Wow, we are moving. New business. So the first thing under new business is a fee waiver request from High Point. Everyone should have it in your packet. And Nicole was kind enough to give us all the details behind it.
Thank you, Nicole.
We approved the same request last April from High Point for the same.
Not for the same.
It's different than that one in April?
It was a different grade and a different reason.
Oh, but it was still
And we
gazebo?
didn't have to approve that one either. That one was on a Thursday. We ended up not voting on it because it ended up getting, the last one from High Point, we didn't have to vote on because they said Friday, but it was actually a Thursday.
Right? Well, there was one, the one on your paper is from last April. That one was
Oh, sorry.
approved. The one that you're referencing
Sorry,
was this
Eric.
fall, and that was, we didn't have to approve. So High Point has requested before, the last time they requested did not have to actually be approved. The time before that, this was approved for another grade for Friendship Park shelter, but not the gazebo. The shelter was not available. They did request the shelter, but it's already rented, so the gazebo was available.
And you said this one's available, correct, for this request?
Correct.
And how, just out of curiosity, how are rentals doing? Do we get pretty filled up?
I would say the gazebo is not rented as frequently, just because its capacity is like 25. I know that it says, it actually doesn't give the number here, but she did talk about it being like 50 kindergartners. And they're going to the Historical Society in the Log House first, and then they just want to come eat lunch in the green space before their bus comes to take them back to High Point. So it may only be 30 minutes, and they may just be there to eat lunch, but they just need a space to eat. And so that's why we booked the gazebo, so at least they have something.
Okay.
My question may be irrelevant based on what you just said, but is the $60 for 4 hours or is it for 1 hour?
So we don't have an hourly rate for the shelters. We have a block rate. So our blocks are 10 to 2 or 4 to 8. So that is based on the block time of 10 to 2, even though they only need 30 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Do I have a second? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Jan Ross,
Yes.
Eric Miller,
Yes.
Chrissy Kaminsky,
Abstain.
Harvey McCluskey,
Yes.
Kevin McGinn,
Yes.
Donna Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, next we have special events update.
Yes, thank you. This is a report given by our special events team. This is actually something new that we haven't historically presented on. I'll actually hand it over to our recreation superintendent, Brian, to give an appropriate introduction.
Thank you. Good evening. This is kind of my final tour of 2024 wrap-up. So excited to introduce you to our community events and volunteer supervisor, Chelsea Heppert, and our coordinator, Tyler Wilson. They put together this presentation, kind of wrap up 2024 and give some things we're looking forward to in the next coming months. So I will pass it over to them.
I'm like afraid to speak into this. Hello. Testing? Okay. Good evening. I'm Chelsea Heppert. For those of you who don't know me, I am the recreation supervisor who oversees all of our special events, paddling programs, and volunteers. I've been with the city for about almost 3 years now. And then to my right is Tyler Wilson.
Yeah, and so sorry about that. It's very nice to meet you all. As Chelsea said, I am the newest addition to the team. And just to kind of give a brief, introduction on my behalf, just kind of wanted to, talk about myself a little bit more very briefly. So I joined the team in May of 2024. I'm originally from Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati. I graduated from Eastern Kentucky in 2019 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Recreation and Park Administration. I moved to the great city of Columbus in August of 2023. And I was fortunate enough to receive a position with the city of Worthington. And now I'm very, very grateful to be in this position with the city of Gahanna. It's been very great so far and learned a lot, continuing to learn. And I'm very excited to see what's in store for me. So it's very nice to formally meet you all.
So in addition to seeing Tyler join the team, last year for our Paddle Gahanna and our special events seasonal team, we had 22 seasonal team members, which is a all-time high for us. Normally we kind of see a lower number due to the needs of our crew. So we do require a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends. And so this year we had a wonderful team. Or last year, and then for 2025, we have about 66% of the staff returning so far. So we're excited to have them join us again. Just to kind of talk about our seasonal team a little bit more, we have a great crew, and a lot of them are either Gahanna residents or have strong ties to the Gahanna community. So a few of them, just to kind of throw out examples, one has volunteered with Gren for many years and has kind of had other team members and friends pitch in and help him. One of our team members was the story trail artist 2 years in a row, so she kind of learned about us through that program and then eventually joined our team and is returning again. And then one of our seasonals, she graduated from OSU is graduating from OSU this upcoming spring. She actually became a contractor with the senior center and was doing our programs through there. So we have a great team who have grown in Gahanna and continue to grow within Parks and Rec. Without that team, we would not be able to have Paddle Gahanna. For those of you who are familiar, it is our paddle boat and kayak rental down at Creekside in the marina and mill race area. To give you an overview of the 2024 season, we ran for about 15 weeks this year, so our opening day was Memorial Day weekend. And because of the amount of team members that we had this year, we were able to go past Labor Day weekend this year, which is a first that we've been able to do since I've been here. Our gross sales for the year were about $9,500. Paddle boats, we saw 716 rentals this year between the two of them, which is phenomenal. And then kayak rentals, we saw about 253. So again, without that staff, these numbers wouldn't be possible, and then they also assist us with our events that we host. To continue with paddle programming, we offer several paddle programs throughout the summer, spring, and fall months. There are several members on our staff, full-time team members, both on the rec side and then on the park side, who are certified through the American Canoe and Kayaking Association. So that is just the industry standard to have that certification to make sure that participants are safe, that we have the tools and knowledge necessary to offer these programs and to have those skill sets. So throughout this past year, we had 3 celestial paddles, and those are essentially moonlight or star-themed floats, if you will, and we go out to the Hoover Reservoir. This past year, we had 37 participants, which is great looking at the numbers and how many paddle boats that or not paddle boats, kayaks that we have in our inventory. We have several who come event after event with our paddling programs just because they love it so much and they don't necessarily have the opportunity to go by themselves. We offer Kayak 101s, so we teach people who are not comfortable or not familiar with being on the water. So we give them an overview and a safe space to learn and kind of test their skills. Those are a little lower in attendance, but we saw 8 participants last year. We also offer floats through different sections of the Big Walnut, so we offer a different and unique view of the waterway that we have here in Gahanna. And this past year, we saw 14 participants in 2 floats. We also, the staff partners with the camp staff and assist them with their middle school adventure days, their camp kayaking programs, and other programs as needed. And then we also work with creek cleanups, so we offer public cleanups, and then also the arbor team and the kayaking team, we do log jam floats. So we go out onto the Big Walnut a few times a season and clear it of any fallen debris, logs. We pick up litter that we see and just make sure that it's floatable for not only our programming, but also programming that other people might be doing. To jump into our 2024 events, this is just by the numbers, and I can touch more on it too. But looking at internal events hosted by Gahanna Parks and Rec, this year total was 16. And then we also assisted and hosted 5 events with the city. Our 2024 attendance was just over 25,000, which is a jump from previous years. The special events team and the parks team, we also assisted with external events. So we assisted with 17 external events and then saw 9 5Ks last year, which is great. So some of the events that you see below in the pictures include our Creekside Live, which is one of our larger concert series. We have the Cinema Under the Stars movie night, and then the Great Gahanna Goblin Fest. That event in particular has been growing year after year, so we're excited to see what 2025 brings. And then we also celebrated 175 years of Gahanna. So there was an event series that was put on by a committee, and then we heavily assisted with that, in particular the 175th Gahanna Anniversary Jubilee. That is a mouthful, but it's fun to say sometimes. And then that event in particular, we did win a 2nd place award with the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association in the Cultural Arts and History category. So that is a statewide award submission, and we were fortunate enough to place 2nd place. So we do quite a bit, and we offer a wide range of events, and we're excited for this year. We wanted to touch on fundraising a little bit. In 2024, we saw $53,000 in sponsorship revenue. So we partner with businesses and organizations throughout the year. Some of it is in kind, but a lot of it is monetary, and we are fortunate enough to have great working relationships and look to continue that this year and in the future. We also, in certain events, do offer booth spaces for community groups, organizations, businesses to participate in events. For example, the Great Gahanna Goblin Fest, we allow outside organizations to apply to become a vendor, so that is another way to offset the cost of certain events. I did want to touch on this. It was in 2023, but we did not present in 2023, but we were awarded the SWACO Event and Recycling Grant for recycling equipment, specifically geared towards events. So if you're at a Creekside Live or a Goblin Fest, you'll see kind of wire recycling bins. That's the equipment that we got the grant for. So we have enjoyed putting that to use, and it's been very rewarding, and SWACO has been great to work with. And then in 2024, we submitted a grant for ODNR for the Boating Safety Education Grant. We did receive it, so that money will go towards more of our fleet, so adding on additional kayaks, hopefully getting a new trailer and a few other pieces of equipment that we will use and hope to expand on. And then the picture is just a little snapshot of what the 2025 sponsorship packet looks like. We did revamp it a little bit, so we're very excited about it. We also get to work with quite a few volunteers between special events, paddling programs, and other things. Tyler has been taking on the lead and getting settled into the role of helping to facilitate the volunteers. But to kind of give you a snapshot, we have partnered with Columbus Academy Day for a few years, and we see about 200 volunteers, and we have a wide range of projects. So we clean up 3 sections of the Big Walnut Creek, so we have teachers and staff members in the creek with us. There's a lot of mulching, fence painting, and quite a few other projects that couldn't get done without the help of them. Another great partner that we've had the last few years is Kemba hosts a volunteer day. This year we got them involved with refreshing some of our headstones and coffins that we use for the Great Gahanna Goblin Fest. They really had fun with it. They got artsy and creative and kind of gave them a refresh for the year. And then we also get to work with high school students, both with the honors classes and then with projects of their own. So we have a great program, and we're looking forward to 2025. And then that brings me to 2025, or the present. So we are currently working towards bringing or revamping the Gahanna Market, formerly known as the Big Gahanna Yours Farmers Market. And then Tyler can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so this has been a really exciting thing for me, getting to kind of learn the world of farmers markets. We already kind of established a pretty solid, application that we're working to finish to get out to vendors. I've received interest from a number of vendors already. So once that application is ready to go, we'll send it out to 250 to 300 vendors. I've actually met with a lot of the market managers in the area as well to try to get a clearer understanding of the Ohio food safety laws. They can be very, very technical, and so I actually just recently also attended the Ohio Farmers Market Network Conference as well, and so I got to learn a great deal of what goes into the farmers market, as well as kind of build my relationships with those other market vendors, and looking really excited to see the involvement that we get, and just to kind of add another event for our residents and neighboring cities. So.
In 2025, we also have currently 27 events planned for the year. That does include some of our paddle programs, along with events like Independence Day. And then external events, we currently have 20 applications submitted, so that ranges between 5Ks and then other events. As Tyler just mentioned, we are working towards an application for the Gahanna Market, and that is going to be utilized through OpenGov, which is a permitting software that the city uses. So the last several months, several of the team members here have been working on creating the formats for those applications. So that'll include eventually, or soon actually, the 5K application and permit. Other vendor permits, we're working on adding a few other things towards the future, but we're hoping to kind of streamline that process and make it easier for both the users who need permits, but also make it easier for us to kind of track and manage. So that's a little bit about what is coming in 2025. And then Brian is going to be able to touch on this.
So every month, or I should say, NRPA designates July as National Parks and Rec Month. So the last several years, we have tried to find ways to help our community get out, explore, see what we do in our parks, and just kind of see that the overall experience that we're able to provide for them. This year, we are trying to focus more in on one event for the community, and or I guess I should say, NRPA each year does a theme, and this year is Build Together, Play Together. So with that, we are working with this team here to create an event, and it's titled Build, Explore, Play, Join the Fun. So this event is going to be on Saturday, July 12th at Friendship Park. And we hope to have a lot of different interactive areas where community can come and look at maybe some of the projects and updates on where we are with either things that we've recently completed, like our mountain bike trail or other playgrounds, or things that might be coming up that we have updates for. Get outside and explore. Since it's at Friendship Park, the story trail will be there. We'll get some kayaks down over at the Big Walnut to try your hand at paddling, do some other activities like scavenger hunts, things like that, and then just play. So take advantage of the pickleball courts, the basketball courts, just the open field space, and just really try to invite the community out to connect with our team and everything that Friendship Park and our park systems in general have to offer. So with that, why we wanted to highlight, we'd like to invite you all to participate in some way. We're still working through some details, but this is a great opportunity for, again, our Parks Board and other supporting groups to come out and meet some of our frequent visitors of our parks and our events. And yeah.
It's July 12th, you said?
July 12th, yes.
Do you have like a time range yet?
I didn't remember.
Just want to get it in my
Like
calendar.
afternoon, but we'll set out something when
An
we get
afternoon.
something
Okay,
more
perfect.
Again, once we get some more details about exactly like event map layout, we'll know like, hey, we need some volunteers in this area, or we would just like to have people available. So we'll definitely get that out to you. I just wanted to let you all know. This wraps up the presentation. We're happy to answer questions. I did just want to highlight this team. There was a lot going on last year. Chelsea was on a 175 planning committee from the previous August that met at least monthly, and then pretty much throughout all of last year, we were meeting multiple times a month in the evenings. This was also before we knew Tyler was going to be a part of our team, and then through that process. So we had a lot of extra events on our plate last year, as well as onboarding and getting Tyler comfortable on the role. And so we're definitely looking forward to this year. We have a lot of great returning seasonal staff, and so we'll be able to really kind of to ramp things up again this year. So happy to answer your questions.
Well, I add on to that as well. Oftentimes, special events, you don't necessarily understand the amount of work that goes into it. I know many of you sitting up there do, because you incorporate, whether it's a volunteer standpoint or you've run them yourself. But a lot of the work that's done by this team, we call it the invisible work. You don't recognize it until it's not done, and then it's noticeable. One thing that you also may not see is the amount of time and effort. That's not just, through the effort of planning, but it's also physical effort. These folks are working very long days and putting a lot of time and energy into making sure that everyone's having an enjoyable and, of course, safe time. I actually have, and I wish I had it. There's actually, I have a couple photos of Chelsea, one in particular where she's soaking wet. And it's before the event even started. So she had already been a full day of work accomplished before an event had even started. And there was not a dry location on her body, but she still had a smile on her face, and she fulfilled the day with great effort. So those things you don't see. They have a great attitude. They are very intelligent and very thoughtful of the way that they approach the work that they accomplish. So just a lot of kudos for the work that you do see, but also that you don't see.
Does anyone have questions?
I have a couple Chelsea, first of all, on the paddle program, is there a fee for that, or is that free?
Are
you talking paddle Gahanna or?
Yeah, this 24 paddle program?
So it is $10 per boat rental.
Okay, and then how do you advertise that?
So we have it on our website, but then also through social media posts.
Social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Facebook, Instagram, the normal suspects. But then down at the mill race, we do have a QR code.
Oh,
so that
good.
way, if people are walking by and it's not open yet, like if it's during the week and it's early, they can kind of scan it, because oftentimes you'll walk by a bunch of kayaks and want to know what that's about. So we have that information available.
Tyler, I got a question for you.
Eric, one second, Eric. I was just going to clarify. So that is for our, we call it Paddle Gahanna. So that is the paddle boat and the kayak rentals down at Creekside. The paddle programming, which are the kayak floats and things like that, there is a fee. That is also marketed through our program guide online, and they would book those through RecTrack, just like you'd book any other programs that we offer.
But it's just open to the public, right? Anybody,
yeah.
anybody can?
Yep.
Okay. And then Tyler, I got a question for you on the farmer's market. Where's that going to be located?
So that's going to be located at Creekside,
Creekside.
Creekside Plaza, and back towards the Rotary Stage.
Great. Thank you.
That's going to be once a month? Is it?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
once a month on the fourth Wednesday of each month from June to September.
I had a question about the volunteers. Do you think there's any ability to increase that program and get more volunteer groups?
Yeah, so with the addition of Tyler, we are going to be increasing that and creating more of a sustainable program. And that doesn't necessarily, with sustainable, it's the one-off events, but also creating opportunities for people to have consistent opportunities, whether that be a trail steward or docent type of a vibe, or whether it's a group that maintains invasive species at a specific park. So we're working through that and creating more of a program so that way it covers us, but also covers volunteers and creates more of a long-lasting and impactful program that they want to return to.
Thanks.
Just a comment. My daughter is at Camp Hannah, and the kayaking is one of her favorite things. So I'm sure it is organized chaos, but I know that they love it.
Thanks.
Are we going to do the s'mores in the parks again this year?
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
That's-
It'll be coming back in October, likely the Wednesdays leading up to Halloween, but we're figuring out which parks. We want to be cognizant of the ones that we've done previously or most recently, but also looking at other opportunities.
Okay, good.
Anything else? Well, thank you both for your presentation and for all that you guys do.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Did a great job.
Yeah. All right, director's report?
Report is included within your packet. I will make some notes that are not within this report. One is a reminder, if you are not aware, the State of the City is next Thursday. It's the 27th. It's held at Menlo, which is at Edison. It's the venue that's incorporated into that venue. It's 4:30 to 6:30. Definitely encourage you to attend. Not only to support Parks and Recreation, but as the city as a whole. There's a lot of great opportunities to just engage with city departments and just understand what's going on throughout the city. So next Thursday, 4:30 to 6:30. Also, what is not in your report, we do have the final date for the mountain bike trail grand opening. That will be Friday, June 6th at 4 p.m. More specific details around that celebration will be coming, but again, mark your calendars for that. We would love to see your participation there. I know many of you have been along the journey to get to where we are, so I'd love to have you celebrate the opening with us. Also would like to note, just this past Monday, had an opportunity to present a presentation to City Council, and it was overall an update for the Recreation Division. Later on in the year, I'll give a presentation for the Parks Division, but this past Monday was recreation focused. That is available through the city's YouTube channel if you'd like to go back and review it, but some of the metrics that were outlined are within this report for reference. The golf course is open. The nice weather has been kind to us. I shouldn't even said that. Delete that. I don't know. This is just real wood. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
But this year, we're actually celebrating 50 years of golf. So the team are being really creative and providing some extra opportunities to celebrate the 50th year. If the chili cook-off is something that we had done previously for many years as a tradition of the golf course. COVID put it on delay, but it's coming back this year to just highlight that celebration. Also, we have seasonal hiring has been in full force. This team works diligently, not only just at the beginning of the year, but all year round to make opportunities to engage with our seasonal staff members to make sure that they understand what they need to do, but also understand what opportunities are available to them. And a large emphasis has been placed on retention. We want to make sure that the staff that we have feel valued. There's an overall positive culture so that they feel welcomed and want to continue to have the city as their preferred source of employment. That has been successful. Again, the team puts a lot of focus and energy into that. And we've seen positive improvements with our retention in regards to seeing staff members come back. One thing that we also like and encourage to see is growth within those seasonal staff members. So there is opportunities to grow in leadership positions. So when we're able to bring in, a first-time job, they've never worked for anybody before, and we're seeing them elevate into leadership positions from a seasonal standpoint. That's something that we really thrive and work towards. And I know this team puts a lot of energy into that itself. For camp numbers, this is within your report. This was one of the first years that we've seen in a really long time where we offer registration for summer camps for residents only. We, of course, want to make sure that our residents have the access to the programming. We actually had multiple weeks of summer camp fill with resident registration only. That is, again, the first time that we've seen that in quite some time. Noteworthy is that even with those weeks filling, we've also expanded the max capacity of those camp weeks. So the demand is there, the understanding of the value is there, and so we're able to see a good network and a good build of program for summer camps. And again, just noteworthy, the comment around retention is that covers all sections within the Recreation Division. So we're seeing some great counselors and some great event staff coming back to really, we of course can't do what we do without seasonal staff members. So we're not only creating an opportunity for our residents, but we're also creating employment opportunities for our residents. So we see that very valuable. Again, everything else is within your report. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Does anyone have anything?
Oh, I did. What parks received the AED boxes?
There are multiple parks. I can provide you the list, but ultimately any park that has programmed activities, so Academy Park, Hanna Park, Shaw Park, I'm gonna miss some, and I can make sure that that's included into our report. Ultimately, any programmed space that we have within our system received the AED. So I'll make sure to compile those specific locations within the March report.
And then what is an ABI groomer?
It is a, so it's a laser grade. So we were able to acquire a piece of equipment in order to improve the grading of athletic fields. And so our staff were actually going to a training in regards to that piece of equipment next week. So it would really just help with drainage issues, concerns. That's with all athletic fields.
Thank you.
I have a question. I rode the mountain bike trail, and it's great. I love it. There's no excuse for me not to ride it, because I'm like 4 minutes away by bike. So, but I also was a coach with Gahanna Junior League Sports, and I'm thinking about the confluence of baseball season and mountain bike use, and how that all how it all works out, because there was practice going on when I rode through the diamonds on either side of the parkway, and I'm concerned about congestion from both.
Yeah, it's a great comment, and it's something that we've recognized and understood from the jump, really. We have the opportunity and the thankful because of Mayor Jadwin's support and City Council support, we're able to make improvements to the shelter house, the parking lot, as well as the playground equipment at Academy Park. And the flow of the trail is understood within multiple users and cross-pollination of use. So that goes everything from the parking lot as well as the shelter house as well, so that you're naturally going to gravitate towards your location of recreation. So we've also recognized that the way in which the multi-use trail goes between the diamonds, it's a direct access, and so you naturally want to gravitate that way. So the design is really incorporated in order to introduce a better and safer route, so that you're not going to be as interested to go to those diamonds unless you are there to watch baseball or softball. So yes, that is definitely something from a park planning standpoint is considered.
Okay. The other thing I want to point out is, as a cyclist, if I could, make a suggestion.
Please.
That the area between the parking lot and the south edge of the trail between the diamonds, that we should think about asking cyclists to dismount and walk their bikes, because I know what it's like when all 3 diamonds are filled on a Saturday. Have parents and young children there, and cyclists are trying to ride through there. I experienced that myself, and I thought I should get off and walk, because we have to yield the trail. Cyclists can get hurt, but young children can get hurt also. So,
right.
And maybe that's a signage issue. Cyclists, be courteous, dismount. So.
Right. No, that's absolutely. And again, because of the way of the flow of the trail, will be improved with the directional as well as wayfinding. So,
all right.
Absolutely agree.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to also mention that you can reach the trail through Woodside Green.
Yeah.
So you come in through Woodside Green, and for you, it's probably easier to go through Academy. Right.
Yes,
right,
I was
across
coming
over the bridge.
from Cherry Bottom.
Right.
So I came that direction.
Right.
But yeah.
I told Stephanie I walk the mountain bike trail. I'm not a cyclist. It's quite a workout.
Up and down the hills.
Yes. Yes.
It's, sometimes you forget how hard it is, but I was up there. The heart rate monitor was up there. So kids are going to love it. Folks are going to get a workout from it. I think it's a tremendous addition. So excellent job.
I'll just pick up the trash along the trail and leave the cycling to you guys. I have a question. The Academy Park improvements that it says there's a full concept plan. Is that something we could get a copy of?
Yeah, so we will be bringing that forward for you. There are some design components that need to be resolved before that's brought forward. We were hoping to do that this month, but there are some significant resolution that needs to come to fruition before that's presented. But yes, that is the intention, is for you to be able to see those.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
And what's the Valley Sports Camp?
So it is a contractual program that we use. They focus on youth athletics. So each week they have a different segmented, I guess, specialized sport that they focus on for that week. So kids can kind of pick and choose what week they want to participate based on the sport that's provided to them. We've contracted with Bali Sports for quite some time and see great participation with their programs.
Is there a fee for that?
There is a fee for that, yes. Yes.
Anyone else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, committee reports. BTAC?
We didn't meet this month, but I would like to report that Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission has distributed more than $52 million in federal funding for infrastructure projects in Central Ohio, of which $4,730,000 will be used for the Big Walnut Trail between Cherry Bottom and Morse Road. So that was pretty good news. Other than that, that's all I have under BTAC.
GASAC?
We met yesterday, and Lauren was gracious enough to get all the minutes typed up quickly, and they're in your packets. The group, they're busy and organized on getting their elections up and going. And then they've had 97, right now their current membership is 505 members. They had 97 renewals, they said, between January through March, and 21 new members. And this doesn't include like their snowbirds that will be coming back. So happy to answer any questions. They've been busy. They have tons of events planned.
When are their elections?
May, I think it's May 7th.
Okay.
They're doing them. Yeah, and their next meeting is May 20th from 3 to 4.
All right, NREC?
No report.
Are
No
we-
meeting.
Are we planning any meetings upcoming?
There's nothing scheduled at this point. We do have a section of property along North Hamilton that we would like to have some input from NRAC, but we do not have a date scheduled.
Wait, where's that?
By Peace Lutheran, there's a parcel that is adjoining that is city-owned property. The church has developed a walking path, and they'd like to see some opportunity of that to grow, and it would extend into the city property. So just want to understand from NRAC's perspective what type of topography we're looking at.
Is that
That's really the
city-
jumping off point.
Is that city property, the Wooded area?
That's correct.
Okay.
I got one other question on our NREC. I noticed when I was over at the trails, some of the trees have pink ribbons around them. What does that pink ribbon for?
Which trails?
Like the Academy, the mountain bike trail, and that whole area over there?
It depends. There are sometimes if we are blazing the mountain bike trail, so that way you can see where each of the loops go. So it's possible that it's a blaze. It's also possible that it's a hazard tree and needs to be removed. It just depends on, and I can't confidently say the colors, so I don't want to improperly say that the pink ones are the blaze or the pink ones are removed.
Because some of them look like bushes, just little small bushes.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, poll members for comment, we'll just start. Donna, do you have anything?
No, nothing.
Eric?
I've got one thing. I attended the GSA meeting last week, and the president's back there, Ashley. And I just want to mention a couple of things from that meeting. First of all, their rosters are set for this spring. They figure their numbers are going to be about the same as last year. Also, they have a shortage of coaches. I think that's still the case. So if anybody knows of anybody that want to coach soccer, be sure and reach out to them. And then another thing, which I thought was really cool, they have this machine. It's called Turf Buddy, I think, and it does striping for the soccer fields. And it's like a little robot. So I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, and I think that the city has one that they're using like a robot too for baseball diamonds, if I'm not mistaken.
We don't have a robot. There is a demo will be reviewed for lining,
For lining,
but
yes.
we do not own one.
Yeah, okay. That's all I have.
Harvey?
No comments.
All right, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.